I don't know why every time I try to upload something or to record something, this seems to be messing up. I had a video that was maybe 10 minutes long already. It seems like it got canceled for whatever reason. I would really like it to stop. So, in doing this video now, finally, third attempt, third time is the charm, it would seem. I'd like to start out by giving a quick interpretation of what I think 2012 was. I think everyone went through a lot during 2012, and it's not because of there was some sort of prophetic, guaranteed, singular event to happen. Although even if the belief was there, obviously humanity is going to help create such an event. It's not that it was predetermined; it was only interpreted due to the mathematical interpretations of time and past civilizations. I'm not reading anything. This is my personal interpretation. I'm just watching my own feed so I can see how this looks. What happened, in my opinion, is once we got to 2012 and solstice and whatnot, it would seem, due to humanity's own input into the belief system, 2012 and the 21st, there was a overwhelming neutral to beneficial outcome as far as beliefs go over the negative belief systems, which is hard to believe because you hear more about the negative belief systems than you do about people being generally neutral about it or even something good happening from it. Of course, good as a word itself is just a pretty mundane way of describing an event or a situation or a personality. And so good and evil really in essence don't exist because they are falsified means of giving meaning to something whenever the true reality is always consistently just as it's always been, which is stoic, it's neutral. The truth behind the veil of this human and the experience beyond that is constant. There's a specific frequency that is unchanging, if you will. If you were to imagine a rainbow, you could each color to be seen as a different frequency that alters your life. But there will always be one of those beams of light that is ever unchanging, whether you choose to see it and allow it to help you or not. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with not seeing such a thing, but it means that you will be looking to other things in reality, whatever that means to you, to get the same effect. And whatever works for you is whatever works for you. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just giving you a friendly tip, if you will. So, without the momentum put behind 2012, what can we interpret as that event, that energy release in the solstice? Well, so much momentum put into such an idea is really, I guess, powerful. I mean, today we still see different deities from ancient civilizations still appearing in video games and belief systems, pagan and whatnot. This doesn't mean that the deities that are put in these scenarios are necessarily more valid as living beings. It just means that their energy signature, the energy put behind them, if you will, is still running through the minds of humanity on some level. So Anubis being probably one of the more popular ones, and for good reason. Its association with, his association with transcendence, death, and whatnot seems to have created kind of a, I don't want to say favoritism, but it's that type of energy is still desired by humanity. Otherwise, you wouldn't see so many artists out there or other creative people mentioning the figure known as Anubis, as well as the energy represents, which is transcendence beyond the physical death. So it's not so much just a figure, it's what that figure represents that keeps it alive in the human consciousness. And this is just an example. The reason I mention this is because, simply put, with other figures, energies, totems, what have you, humanity is being given sort of some type of inspiration that's allowing them to see that they can be on par with these types of figures, and that their interpretation of them is what creates their experience with them. Some people are getting this. And if that can be learned, it doesn't matter what point in time it is learned. There's no time limit, because time, again, is just another one of those mundane restrictions imposed upon the self. The self not even being within the body, it is beyond that. So, the self, while it can be hindered as far as what it can feed back to the body goes, the self is mostly, in my interpretation, unchanging and capable of just about anything. So, whatever someone deems as the self on the 3D level, which is always a learning experience, doesn't matter what someone does, whether it's, um, you could say, falsified or seemingly delusional or what have you, but all these things have lessons in them. And sometimes somebody needs to go so far down that they realize how far they can come back up and fly to true freedom. And this is just one interpretation. I can by no means say what true freedom is for every single person. I can only give inspirations and hints and what I think might help, and that's just about it. Really, all I'm trying to get at here is, as a kind of an introductory video, is that humanity seems to be on the brink of change, and whatever this may be is still kind of up for grabs, so to speak. There's no guaranteed negative reality or evil, bad, apocalyptic reality, so to speak. Apocalypse just means revealing, after all. But what it does mean is that regardless if someone gets their ass in gear or not, it won't change the fact that there's going to be a very noticeable shift in human consciousness and DNA and whatever else you wish to throw in that little blender of mixed possibilities, so to speak. Because out of that is going to come a pretty interesting cocktail of shifting and awareness. And there's no stopping it. I mean, you can fight and argue all you want about it, but the fact is, humanity is on the brink of change, and however that comes through is just how it's going to be. There's all these people who identify as, say, indigo children, star seeds, non-human beings from other planets, other realities, other dimensions, whatever you want to label it and bring it down into 3D as, it doesn't matter. It's all the same story. It's saying humanity is ready to go beyond their weaknesses and become beings of infinite possibility, meaning that humanity will be capable of things like shape-shifting, sure, if not, some humans will be more telepathic in the early stages. Probably the most noticeable things is most communication is not verbal anyway, so it stands to reason that telepathy will be one of the first things to arrive along with healing. These are just my own guesses. It's not to limit these changes to that. As far as visitation from alien life goes, did anyone ever possibly stop to think maybe the alien life that is prophesized to you back isn't from another planet, but from this one? This is, of course, just my interpretation. This isn't to say alien beings don't exist in other places, other planets, whatever, but this is to say humanity needs to start thinking maybe they are going to be their own alien visitors. Maybe some of these channelers are picking up on themselves from the future, a possible future anyways. Present's constantly changing, so when they get messages every so often, it's from a probable timeline. It doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. It just means in one place at one time, that's what could possibly happen. And so it's feeding back to the person at the so-called present as a possibility. Nothing more, nothing less. All I can really say here is no matter what is chosen by each person individually, collectively everyone will get the appropriate change, shift in consciousness, what have you, that is suited for them and they allow it to manifest in their lives. On that note, all I can say is hope for the best and keep your imagination open to any possibilities. Because in this day and age, as we are now in early mid 2013, anything is becoming possible. And the powers that be, the systems in place that seem to be keeping humanity enslaved will no longer be capable of doing such. So long as humanity can dream, it can always accelerate. And on that note, I guess that's all for this one. Um, Hopefully more interesting things for me soon. Sorry for kind of jumping from subject to subject, but this video is the first of many, so let's keep on and keep a lookout on this channel. If you find this interesting, let me know how I did. I kind of rushed through, but nevertheless, I had fun doing this.